and then we'll turn it over. So Jeff is going to be our keynote for tonight. He's going to talk for about 10-15 minutes about share his story. And what's really cool is Jeff has built a business on inventing a product that is literally at the intersection of IPAs and APIs, so it's going to be very relevant. So with that, I'll turn it over to Jeff.
Thanks, Greg. It's great to be here. It's nice to meet everyone. A lot of friendly faces. Great event. Thanks again to Elevate and Rigor for having me, and for everyone who put this together. It's a really nice event. So I am Jeff Libby, the founder and CEO of TableTap. We are the pioneers of self-service beer. So we specialize in self-pour technology. For those of you that don't know, yes, we enable patrons to pour their own beer. So we are empowering people to pull the tap, and literally ounce by ounce. So it's a pleasure to be here. IPAs and APIs are inextricably related, and not just because of the palindromic arrangement of letters, but also because at any API conference, you are sure to find the attendees after the event at the hotel lobby pounding a couple IPAs. And let's admit it, IPAs make talking about APIs a lot cooler. But likewise, I would like to give credit to the API side of the world, which, you know, APIs also make IPAs a lot more interesting to drink. APIs enable us to post on social media platforms what we're drinking, when we're drinking, where we're drinking, checking in at our location, sharing what we've drank with our friends, and even providing feedback for brewers. I read an article just yesterday talking about how brewers are embracing APIs into the brewing process, and they are connecting with the end consumers and learning preferences and getting feedback that drive them to make adjustments in the brewing process and techniques to basically hit the right markets. So it's pretty incredible. APIs kind of run in the background, and they don't get that much credit, but they do make drinking IPAs a lot more fun. I don't know if any of you guys have used a social drinking app called Untapped, but it's basically social media for beer lovers, and they're able to share what you drink, rate your drinks, provide feedback to the brewers and things like that. Our system that we've created at TableTap actually integrates with Untapped, so we are using APIs every day. So just to give you a little bit of history on TableTap and how the business idea was conceived by myself, I traveled to Argentina and lived there after college for 2 years and sat at my first pour your own beer tap. I was immediately blown away by the ability to pour my own beer, and immediately recognized the value in offering the freedom to pour your own to people in the United States. I thought, man, people down here in Argentina can just basically have a keg party at the table, yet there's no way they would allow pour your own beer in the United States. So I made it my mission to bring the freedom to pour your own to people in the United States. And so what we've done is I moved back from Argentina, I researched the law, I connected with some friends that were attorneys, and we found out that all the laws surrounding alcohol consumption were written during Prohibition. Obviously, they did not foresee people pouring beer and the ounces counting on an iPad. So there was nothing precluding us from doing what we wanted to do in this self-pour movement. So I went to a restaurant owner, and he loved the idea, but he wouldn't put it in his restaurant because he was afraid it would jeopardize his alcohol license. So what we did is we assembled a team of engineers from Georgia Tech's ATDC program, and we designed a system after a series of meetings with the alcohol department in Georgia. I think it's the Georgia Department of Revenue Alcohol Tobacco Division, where we presented our technology and showed how it does actually enhance the operator's ability to monitor and control what is being poured out of the tap. Our technology enables operators to know exactly who's drinking what, when, where, and how much beer. So we're collecting data at the point of dispense, which is extremely valuable. Show what beers are doing well and what beers aren't doing so well, and really connecting the brewers with the end users. And we're really excited that in Georgia now the laws have been lifted where we're going to be able to buy beer at the actual microbreweries, and hopefully you'll see some tasting rooms of the future start popping up here very, very shortly. So I brought this idea back to the United States, and back in 2006 I formed the company, and this is back when there was less than 1,200 breweries in the United States. Today there's more than 5,000, which is pretty incredible that from 40 something to now, there was 1,200 breweries created in this country, and until 2006, I'm corrected. And then from 2006 to 2011, I think there was about 1,600 breweries, and in 2014, there was recorded 3,200 breweries, and now there are 5,000 different breweries, each brewing probably 8 different brands of beer. There's 40,000 different varieties for you to try. There's absolutely no way you can try them all by the pint. So we're empowering you to try them by the ounce. So you can try them by the ounce, and you can actually track what you pour, record what you pour, rate the beers that you pour, and find out what you like and what you don't like without, without wasting 2 livers, essentially. So, we're doing everybody a big service for craft beer lovers. The first system was launched at Stats in downtown Atlanta, which is a big sports bar right next to the Phillips Arena and the Dome. We started out with a table tap system, which is a tap at a table that allowed you to pour your own beer at the table. It was dedicated to the patrons seated at that table, and it was all electromechanical. So this is before iPads, before the craft beer movement even began, really, while millennials were still in high school. So I feel like the culmination of the boom in craft beer, the evolution of technology, and the rise of the millennial generation, and them embracing technology and wanting to see technology in restaurants and in breweries where they frequent, has been a great thing for us, and really validates our business case. So the first system, electromechanical, very, very basic. We do put controls on the system. It's not a keg party at the table. You do get cut off after you drink a certain amount of beer. And the way the first system worked, actually, is that the staff members would have a green card, which is an RFID card that we were using, to turn the table on and to add patrons to the party. So if there was 4 of us drinking, we'd get to drink 4 times 32 ounces of beer, 128 ounces, and then we would get cut off. And after seeing the staff opening and closing the taps using these cards, we thought, well, hey, why don't we give the cards to the patrons? So we invented the beer wall in 2010. And this is kind of a new term to everyone, but a beer wall is a wall of taps with many different varieties of beer. It could be 20 beers, could be 100 different beers, and they're all on tap, kind of like you see in the photo here. There's an iPad and a card reader associated with every 2 taps. You can actually walk up to this iPad and touch the logo of the screen, and pull up a product description of the brand, how it's brewed, the alcohol by volume, the flavor notes. So it's beer educational. And once you decide, hey, I think I want to try that, then you put your card in the RFID sensor, and it logs you in, say, welcome Jeff, you have $50 credit, and then as you pour the handle, it'll actually count the ounces dispensed on the screen. So in that process right there, we're using multiple APIs. Number one, all the logos and all the product descriptions are pulled from an online database, which I mentioned before, Untapped. And as you pour beer, we've developed a smartphone app that allows you to track your pours and rate your beers. And if you are an Untapped user, it automatically syncs with Untapped and checks you in at your favorite bar, and shows everybody what you're drinking, and your friends make snide comments about your beers and stuff like that. So it's a really, it turns drinking an IPA from an event into an experience. And what we're all about is, you know, empowering the patrons to create their own experience, to get beer on demand, take the beer taps out from behind the bar. Everybody can pour beer. We've all done it. Let people pour their own beer, empower them to touch that handle, and you know, create their own experience, and you know, by the ounce, literally by the ounce. And so that's what we're about. You know, we've evolved the technology from the electromechanical system to the advent of computers that had, you know, networking and things of that nature. We used a very rudimentary panel PC computer screen, and then that evolved into the iPads. You know, when tablets came out, we were just blown away at what we could do with a tablet, and we're continuing to evolve our technology and move everything onto the smartphone app. And so we see the evolution of our technology moving more onto the phone with all the other apps that you have on your phone. And so hopefully one day we will be the currency for beer, and we will be collecting data, anonymous data, of course, about what everyone's drinking, when they're drinking, what they like and what they don't like about the beer, making it, you know, more efficient for the entire industry. So we're always looking for new ideas. We got a lot of outside the box thinkers, and